At the beginning of this conversation, Abraham explains how when you were born into your physical body, you trusted the timing of your birth, and life is causing you to launch rockets of desire timed by the placement of your physical birth. If your birth time differed, those rockets of desires would be different. Your children are in sync with the environment that surrounds them and their birth time. Do you honor the creation of your desires and the creation of the desires of your children? You cannot convince your children of the advantages of that nostalgic time you grew up in. Their little minds are creators. They draw their desires from the vortex into manifesting new ways of being. With their different vibrations, you will never be up to speed with the new generation. She addresses how the parent is trying to control something that doesn't make their child feel aligned. And so, the child turns away from what feels misaligned. Abraham states that we were all born into not just different times, but different everything, different vibrational bases, and different relationships with our inner guidance system. You can't understand what children mean. You can't understand their vibration. You can't understand their vortex. You don't know their relationship with their vortex. Parents cannot be in the unconditional state of loving their children and superimposing their time of birth and experiences over their children. Because they are very different, these kids are not just cable ready, they're getting greater all the time too, so parents are less likely to keep up. Because of the format of this channel, we are not monetized. Therefore, we need the support of our subscribers more than ever. You can join the free ebook email campaign at In the Vortex website, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned through the very end for more ways to keep this channel going with new Abraham Hicks content every week. We are so grateful for your comments and support. Your engagement encourages the Abraham All Day team to keep going. So, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Enjoy.
I have two questions, and they're both about teenagers. My first question is about teenagers and electronics and devices, and I have a son, a 13-year-old, and it seems as though, he's having fun. Like, I think about what Abraham would say, and he's in alignment when he's playing his games, but it seems as though it takes him away from the rest of his life and his parents and his siblings, and he gets very focused and...
Wouldn't want that.
Well, I think, oh, he's in alignment, he's happy, he's having fun, he's playing with friends. But when he steps away from his device, he's grouchy, he's irritable, he's not in alignment. So I say...
Does he step away from it willingly? Is it his idea to step away from it or yours?
Well, I try both. Okay, I'm gonna tell him, let's just try an hour.
Let's start at the beginning of this conversation, because there's something at the beginning of it that it would be good to build a sort of basis of discussion. So we just have a few questions for you. So when you were born into your physical body, do you trust the timing of your birth?
Yeah.
You think that there was intentionality about it, and that in the same way that this life is causing you to launch rockets of desire, that you were launching rockets of desire that resulted in the manifestation called your physical birth. So do you trust the timing and the placement of your physical birth? And does it seem logical to you that your birth time and place was different than that of your children? That intentionality is somewhat different, and that an understanding of what would be here would be somewhat different. So do you think that the environment that surrounded you would produce different desires than the environment that surrounds your children? And do you honor the creation of your own desires, and do you honor the creation of the desires of your children? Isn't it a wonderful thing that they are born into a different time than you? Isn't it a wonderful thing that things are different now? Isn't it nice that they're born cable ready with microchips in them ready to go? In other words, do you really want to say to your children while you're expecting, when you get here, I'm going to protect you from the environment into which you were born, and I'm going to demonstrate to you the environment in which I was born, so you won't be up to speed with the other children who are born in the generation that you were born. I'm going to keep you in the mindset that we all had. We're being extreme and absurd, but there's part of you that wants to do that. There's part of you that wants his childhood to be more like your childhood is. Give him a piece of wood and a knife that he can whittle. Oh no, that was your mother. Find the toys from your childhood and present those to him, and tell him the advantages of that quiet time, and that he shouldn't be in this chaotic world that he was meant to be born into.
So when there are people that are designing these games for these young brains to become hooked and addicted.
But wait, is it that way? Or is it the desire of those coming forth who are summoning the creators to something that they want? In other words, that's why we started with the questions that we did with you, because your premise is that something's gone wrong, and that there's a conspiracy to bring their little minds away from the childhood you would rather that they are living, more like yours. And you see what we're getting at?
I do.
In other words, the technology is evolving. It's not that creators are creating things to draw your children in. It's the desires of your children are summoning the creators to give them what they are creating. Your children have created that vortex, that vibrational reality that some manufacturers or creators are receiving the inspiration to produce. The vortexes of your children are manifesting into these games and contraptions. Contraption is a really old word for technology like that, isn't it? We're just trying to soothe you a little. The new always annoy the old, because you're not ever going to be up to speed with the generation that you give birth to, because they were born into a different set of vibrations.
So for me, my work is when I see him not be able to get away, and I think he's addicted to his, and then I get all out of alignment.
So you're trying to control something that's none of your business, and the fact that you can't, you're getting all out of alignment. And he's wise enough to ignore you and go play with something that doesn't make him feel that way. It's interesting that a generation would turn towards something that they can control, something that's predictable and learnable, and turn away from something that they can't understand, their mother. You see what we're getting at? Humans are unpredictable. That's why these contraptions are so sought after by these fresh young minds. Here's what we would do if we were standing in your physical shoes. We would bring ourselves around to a place of meaning this before we say it. But we would want to get to this place of meaning this, and then we would say it. You know, son, I think I'm going to state the obvious. We were born into different times. Yeah, Mom, that's obvious. You're old, I'm young. I don't just mean different times. I mean different everything. Different vibrational basis, different relationship with who we really are, different everything, different everything. And it is occurring to me that previous generations have been slowing down the new generation unnecessarily for a very long time and introducing resistance or chaos into the equation. So I've decided that I'd like to play this out differently. I've decided to get a real glimpse of who you are. And so this is who I believe you to be. And I just want to tell you who I believe you are from my point of view. I might not get it right completely, but this is who I see you as. I know that you are a powerful creator and that you've come with tremendous interest and purpose. And I know that it's not my job to dictate to you what that is. I believe with everything that I am, that you have the resources to figure that all out. And I think that your life is helping you to figure that out. Your life at this age is very different to you than our lives were when we were your age. These are different times. Everything is different, and it's so exciting to me because I can feel the momentum of the evolution of the species that we all are. I'm so happy that I got to play my part and that you'll get to play your part. And I accept that our parts are different in all of this. But these things I know are constant. I know that we are all extensions of source energy, and I know that we are backed up and supported by a consciousness that will help us to be or do or have anything that we choose to be. And it is my simple desire that you figure out what that is step by step, and that you are in a vibrational, emotional position that you can allow whatever it is that you're reaching for to manifest in your experience. And I'm going to stand in the background as your greatest of cheerleaders. That really is what you want to say to your kids. That really is all that you can do for your kids. Because you can't understand what they mean, you can't understand where they are, you can't understand what they came for, you can't understand what their life has put into their vortex. You can't understand their vortex. You don't know their relationship with their vortex. All you're seeing is the emotional results of you trying to hold them back. That's all parents are seeing about their children mostly. We're shouting again. Your love is so strong, but you can't love them and worry about them at the same time. You cannot be in the unconditional state of loving them and the unconditional state of worrying about them at the same time. In other words, it's one or the other. So what you've got to do is figure out how you can massage your thoughts into a place that allows you to allow them. Because you can't control them. You're finding that out. You cannot control them. In other words, if you start putting restrictions on their devices or on anything, they just get sneaky. Because their desires are dominant, because they've got source encouraging them in their desires. And so you got to let them go with the flow. And you got to love them, and you got to trust them. And you got to stop superimposing your time of birth over their time of birth, because they are very different vibrational states of being. These kids are not just cable ready. They're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. They are translating non-physical consciousness at a more rapid rate than any generation ever, and it's becoming faster all the time. And the potential of the gap between parent and child is getting greater all the time too. And parents are just not keeping up. And the reason that parents are less likely to keep up than the kids is because the parents have more beliefs in place that are hindering their own expectations. And nothing is more frustrating to a child than to know his value and his power, and to have somebody that he loves so much standing in disturbed disbelief of that. Wow. And so they withdraw into something that doesn't judge them. They withdraw into something that allows them the expansion that they seek, you see. If we were you, we'd get deep into those games. We'd play some of that too. And we'd accept that we are not nearly as good at it as they are. And we'd say to them, This is your game, not mine, but I sure understand the lure of it.
Thank you for joining us today on this positive self-discovery journey. To enhance your path to positivity and relaxation, visit our online store, In the Vortex. It's a treasure trove of carefully selected items to soothe anxiety and evoke joy. From Abraham Hicks's all-day inspiring designs to soul-soothing products, In the Vortex supports your journey towards a happier, more fulfilling life. But that's not all. For those of you who love to read and explore even deeper, don't forget to check out our Abraham All Day blog on the In the Vortex website. It's a hub of Abraham-inspired wisdom and inspiration waiting for you. And here's something truly exciting: our special campaign. When you scroll to the bottom of the In the Vortex website, you'll discover an irresistible offer, a special free gift that will make your heart sing. Trust me, it's something you won't want to miss out on. Take a moment to explore our SIPWARE line, now available for a limited time only, to remind you that everything is always working out for you. Grab yours today and perhaps a little something extra for a special person. Remember, when you surround yourself with positivity, you invite more of it into your life. So why wait? Dive into In the Vortex today and create your own oasis of joy and calm. Thank you again for being a part of this incredible community. Keep your thoughts high, your hearts open, and your spirits soaring. Until next time, take care, and remember, share this video with your friends, like, and subscribe.